Hello and welcome back to another audio blog here at Reignite Your Soul. It's Laura Plahuti here, and today we're going to be going over the blog When the Light Turns Back On, Awakening and Regulation. So before the light turns back on, it often feels like everything has gone dark. Some call it a dark night of the soul, others call it burnout, exhaustion, grief, disorientation, simply a quiet ache that something isn't quite working anymore. You may not even be able to name what's wrong. You just know that you don't feel like yourself. The things that used to motivate you don't land the same way. The pace of your life feels heavier. You might feel emotionally flooded or completely numb. From the outside, everything may even look fine. But inside, something is unraveling. And what I want you to know, especially if you're in that place right now, it's that the darkness is not proof that you are broken, and there is absolutely nothing going wrong in your life right now. And it's most oftentimes the moment before the light turns back on and things start getting really good. So inside this article, we're going to be going through 7 different things. So the very first one is expanding a little bit more on the fact that this is not a breakdown. It's simply awareness arriving. Number 2 is becoming somebody new or remembering who you were. And we're going to explore that a little bit more. Number 3 is diving into the fact that there is nothing wrong with you if you are in this dark space right now. Number 4 is how nervous system regulation creates access and what that means. Number 5 is when we block out the bad feelings, we also block out the good ones. Number 6 is the fact that this is bigger than you. And number 7 is if you're in this darkness right now, we have some next steps that you can take. So number 1, this is not a breakdown, it's awareness arriving. So when life begins to feel misaligned, when old coping strategies stop working, when the noise of the outside world becomes too loud to ignore, it can feel like everything is falling apart. But what if it isn't falling apart? What if it's actually falling into awareness? There's a moment for many of us when we realize we cannot keep living on autopilot, when we see that the way we've been pushing, striving, or surviving is no longer sustainable. That realization can feel scary, but it's also sacred because awareness only arrives when your system has enough capacity to see it. It means something inside you is actually ready to question, ready to feel, and ready to shift. This is most definitely not another task that you now have to take on. It's a breakthrough, an awakening, an invitation. And while it may not feel exciting yet, one day you will look back and realize it was the beginning of everything. Number 2, becoming somebody new or remembering who you were. So people often ask, is this journey about becoming somebody new or remembering who you've always been? And in my perspective, the truth is it's both. Yes, we are coming home to our divinity, to the part of us that existed before survival patterns took over, before conditioning told us who we should be, before shame taught us to shrink, before unprocessed pain settled into the body. We are remembering, but we are also becoming. Because many of us has never fully experienced what it feels like to thrive instead of survive. We may not remember what it feels like to live in a regulated body, to wake up without bracing, to move through life without constant pressure. So when the light turns back on, life feels new. Colors feel brighter. Choices feel more intentional. Boundaries actually feel possible. And joy starts to be accessible. You begin seeing life through a completely different lens, not because the world changed overnight, but because you did. Number 3 is there is nothing wrong with you. We have been deeply conditioned to believe that struggle equals failure. If you're anxious, something's wrong. If you're overwhelmed, you're weak. If you're stuck, you're behind. But your nervous system learned to survive. Your patterns developed to protect you. The tight chest, the racing thoughts, the numbness, the people-pleasing, the overfunctioning. These were very intelligent adaptations. The heaviness you feel is not evidence of a defect. It is evidence of protection. And when old emotions begin surfacing, when shadow aspects ask to be felt, When you feel like you're unraveling, it does not mean that you are too far gone. It means your system is ready to process what it once had to suppress to survive. There is nothing wrong with you. It's simply awareness emerging. Number 4 is regulation creates access. So here's the gap that many people miss. We try to grow from a dysregulated state. We read the books, we take the courses, we listen to the podcasts, we understand things intellectually. But when the nervous system is stuck in chronic fight or flight, the information cannot fully land. So if you're running from a bear, there's not time to feel the feelings, right? And many of us have been living as if there is a bear always there. So we memorize concepts, but they actually don't transform us. We can explain trauma, but we haven't embodied safety. And regulation, nervous system regulation, creates access. When the body feels safe enough, emotions can actually move. When emotions move, insight begins to integrate. And when insight integrates, we can change from the inside out. So transformation is not just cognitive, it's an embodied process, meaning it's in the body that transformation happens. And embodiment requires safety. Number 5, when we block out the bad feelings, we also block out the good ones. So many of us have learned often very early in life that some emotions were not welcome. Sadness was too much. Anger was unacceptable. Grief was inconvenient. Fear meant weakness, so we adapted. We learned how to suppress, how to override, how to smile when we didn't feel like smiling, how to stay strong when we were actually overwhelmed. And at first it worked, right? It helped us to survive. But here's what no one told us. When we block out the emotions we label as bad or hard to feel or challenging emotions, heavy emotions, we also block out the ones we long to feel. Right? The nervous system does not compartmentalize that way. It doesn't just say, let's numb the grief, but keep the joy. It doesn't say, shut down the anger, but allow love. When we dampen our emotional range, we dampen all of it. And the result, life can start to feel flat, can feel muted, can feel a little bit disconnected. We may no longer feel the sharp edge of pain, but we also don't feel the fullness of aliveness. And so this journey, the one that we're on, when the light begins to turn back on, requires something different. It requires courage. It requires the willingness to feel what we once pushed away. Not to drown in it, not to identify with it, but to allow it to move. Emotions are not meant to be stored inside the body indefinitely. They're meant to move through us. And when they stagnate, they feel heavy. We spiral into stories about who we are. We shape identities rooted in protection. But when we allow space, breath, movement, and expression, the heaviness begins to shift. The body softens, and something unexpected happens. As the bad feelings move, space opens. And in that space, that's where joy returns. That's where connection deepens. That's where gratitude actually becomes accessible again. Aliveness starts to come back online. And this is not about chasing high vibrations. It's about becoming available to the full spectrum of being human. And when we stop trying to selectively numb, we begin to fully live. Number 6, when you choose to regulate instead of react, when you process instead of suppress, when you move through shame instead of staying trapped in it, you are not only healing yourself, you are interrupting generational patterns. You are modeling emotional intelligence for future generations. You are contributing to a collective shift toward greater compassion, harmony, and responsibility. This work is quiet, but it's so powerful. And it begins with one person noticing, one person staying present, and one person deciding to feel instead of run. Number 7, if you're in the darkness right now, if you're in the thick of it, if you're feeling exhausted, if you feel like something inside you is breaking open, if you feel lost, uncertain, or raw, you're not alone. And you're not failing. You're simply in a threshold space. This darkness is not permanent. It's often the space where awareness gathers strength. And one day, perhaps sooner than you think, the light will begin to turn back on. Not all at once, but gradually. And when it does, you may realize This was not the end. It was the beginning of feeling more, living more intentionally, expressing more honestly, connecting more deeply. The journey within is not heavy. It's the most worthwhile journey you will ever take, and it keeps unfolding. It keeps expanding, and it keeps on giving. The light does not turn on by accident. It turns on when you are ready to see it and experience it. And so if you would like some support with navigating any of the challenges you're moving through emotionally, our team is here 100% to support you, and it brings us so much pleasure to be able to offer the services that we offer with emotional clearing and the spiral and with the soul alignment circle. So if you do feel called to work with our team, know we are always here for you, and you can start your journey by booking a free discovery call with our team today. And we are sending you so much love as you continue on in this journey. Keep trusting the process. You've got this, and we will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.